Music is a fact of life, a part of us as human beings that enriches the human experience. From the lone soloist to the full orchestra, to the tunes we hear on the radio, it is an inextricable part of our society. But how is it that we are able to appreciate the melodies and harmonies that we hear in our music on a day-to-day basis? How are we able to tell different sounds apart? The answer lies in frequency. Before understanding frequency, one must understand sound in general. Sound, as we know it, is, in actuality, a wave. When a source makes a sound, it is displacing the air molecules around it, causing them to push against the molecules surrounding them in turn. Through compression and rarefaction, pulling in and pushing out, a wave is formed. Waves themselves have many qualities, but in determining what our melodies and harmonies sound like, we primarily focus on frequency. In terms of a sound wave, frequency is the amount of times the crest of that wave will pass a certain point. This measurement is represented in cycles per second, or hertz. It is this quality of the wave that determines the pitch or aural sensation that we hear in our music. So, when we hear a sound at 440 hertz, we are hearing a sound that we identify as A, specifically A4, the A above middle C. Now, one may ask, how are certain frequencies made? What makes a sound of a certain pitch result from a bowed or plucked string? Well, a number of qualities go into the determination of a source's resonant frequency. That is, the frequency at which the source's physical attributes most comfortably allow it to vibrate. Usually, the resonant frequency results from three factors: the material of which an object is made, the object's proportions, and the stress the object is under. In the case of a string instrument, the frequencies created by the strings are a direct result of their makeup, thickness, and tension. Now, the qualities of resonating frequencies create a phenomenon known as resonance. Resonance is the prolongation of sound by the synchronous vibration of a neighboring object. In other words, when a particular frequency is played near an object whose resonant frequency is of or around the same value, the object will vibrate itself and produce a tone of the same frequency. This can be seen, or rather heard, in this experiment involving a piano and a flute. When the notes from the flute were sounded, the corresponding strings of the piano tuned to the same pitch resonated at the same frequency, propagating the sound as a result. When we hear the sounds made by a flute or piano, we hear a singular note that sounds at a particular frequency. However, that note we hear is actually much more complex than that. In reality, these notes are composed of several tones within the overall sounds. These tones lie over the primary frequency we hear, called the fundamental frequency, as overtones, and add further depth to the sound we hear. Each of these tones lies at a frequency above the fundamental frequency. In particular, there exist frequencies at whole note multiples of the fundamental frequency called harmonics that sound louder than the other overtones and resonate in response to other frequencies. For example, playing the A string on a cello will cause the D string to resonate due to the A harmonic on the D string. Again, these harmonics exist at whole number intervals above the fundamental. So, on a string instrument, the frequency of 440 Hz would have a harmonic at 880 Hz, created by placing a finger halfway down the length of the string. This cuts the length of the string in half, creating the doubled frequency. And there you have it. The various notes and pitches are all the result of frequencies and harmonics. Frequency is what enables us to distinguish pitch, while harmonics create the complex sounds we hear beyond the fundamental frequencies. Thus, some of the building blocks of our musical world are established. With this information, we hope you can appreciate our music all the better.